Good afternoon. My name is Jim Conlan, and welcome to the latest episode of Entertainment Show. As you know, in part three of our Entertainment Show each week, we premiere a new movie or TV series that is debuting in Ireland. And up for discussion this week is a movie that was filmed in Ireland. It's a sort of suspense slash horror movie. It's out on June the 27th. It features an all-star cast, including Richard Brake, John Rhys Davies, Elena Delia, Michael Yare, and our special guest this evening, Ireland's own Christine Mulhern. The movie is called The Gates. It's about a serial killer sentenced to death in the 1800s in medieval England. But obviously, before he dies, he sends his last wish is to curse that sort of prison and its inhabitants, and basically the story tells about how they're trying to break this curse. The movie was filmed in County Cork, and it's really has gone on to rave reviews. And Christine Mulhern, if I can start off The Gates, how did the opportunity come about for you to get involved in the project?
Yes, I was in Ireland at the time. I'm currently in Los Angeles, but I was there at the right time and knew the right people. And I met the directors, Stephen Hall and Paul Thompson and Hector. And I played the role of Agnes, an 1800s barmaid. So it was a really fun role to play, completely different to anything I've ever done. So, yeah.
And Agnes, in terms of your character, does she sort of meet her demise, or you mentioned she's a barmaid in terms of this type of movie? Does she fall foul to Richard Brake's character?
No, she actually does not meet her demise. So there is room for her in the sequel. So she's just the stern barmaid, and she's in the scene with John Rhys Davies' role. So she it's a feature role. It's a little scene, but it was really fun to do. So yeah.
And Ashley, in terms of, you mentioned being in Ireland at the time, in terms of filming, were you near enough to County Cork, and did you sort of stay close as a set? Did you sort of stay all close together while filming?
Yeah, I actually was in Kildare. That's where I'm from. I was living with my parents at the time. So we just drove down. I drove down with my dad. And it's only a 2-hour journey. So yeah, it's a quick trip. And it was filmed in the town of Bunratty. So very cozy and charming little town, very old world, like you're stepping back in time. So it was just so different, so different. And the way they transformed, the place to look like it's, set in the 1800s was really, really interesting and yeah, quite fascinating actually.
You mentioned you're in a scene with John Rhys Davies. What was that like? And obviously a legend of an actor as well. Did you get to speak to him much or indulge with him? And what did you make of that opportunity?
Yeah, it was a huge opportunity. Going on a big movie production can be quite intimidating, but I felt really comfortable, and he made me feel very relaxed and comfortable. And that's really important, when you're, filming, because you can play your role better, obviously. And he's just a brilliant man. He's very wise and experienced, obviously. And he had some really cool, interesting stories to tell. So yeah, I loved meeting him. I think he's quite a brilliant man.
Yeah, and Christine, obviously, as well, Richard Brake, and obviously another legendary actor was involved in this movie. I know you don't have a scene with him, but did you get to talk to Richard? Did you get to pick his brains as well?
I would have liked to have picked his brains. Yeah, he was in a different scene to me, but very nice person. And everyone was so warm and welcoming, and yeah, very talented and experienced, very professional as well. So they were, in their roles and yeah, preparing for those things.
And Christine, did you know when you were filming this movie at the time and playing that your role, that this was going to be a success, that this had the potential to be a blockbuster movie that could be seen the world's over?
Yeah, I had a really good feeling about it. It was very professional. The cast and crew were, just very dedicated to getting this movie done. And it premiered at the Cork International Film Festival, which is, it's huge. So I had a very good feeling about it. When you go into a big production like that, you know whether, it's going to be a success, because it's quite intimidating. So I felt immediately like, yeah, this is going to be a big movie for sure.
And Christine, obviously being Ireland and being Irish as well, coming from Ireland, did you feel a sense of pride? I know you're based in Los Angeles at the moment, but to get to shoot something that was, dare I say, filmed in your own country as an actress, does that give you a sense of pride whenever you can come home and you can do something that's close to home?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'd love to do more work in Ireland. I think I have more of a California look going on, but it's amazing how they transform you. For Agnes, I didn't recognize myself when I looked in the mirror because the hair and makeup was just so brilliant. I looked like a different person. So, but I feel very proud to, be able to work there, and, my roots and all that. So proud Irish immigrant. And I'll be
And
back, of course.
And Christine, obviously, the filming in Ireland and filming in LA, it's sort of two different worlds, sort of such in terms of that. And do you sort of notice the differences when you came home to filming in Ireland as well, in terms of production, or did you feel that this could easily have been a movie filmed in front of a studio lot in Warner Brothers in Hollywood?
Yeah, I actually think Ireland is so advanced when it comes to, filming. They're just as advanced as the productions, in Los Angeles. I think they've moved forward in the past couple of years. There's a lot of production being filmed in Ireland at the moment. So I actually would consider them to be, quite ahead of the game in Ireland. Yeah. So other countries.
And Christine, in terms of the horror sort of genre, are you a fan of that? Is that something that excites you in terms of having a good scream now and again?
I absolutely love horror. It's my favorite genre. I love pretty much every horror movie I've seen. I'm not afraid of a good scare. I think it's, hilarious, and I'd actually love to star in another horror movie. Like that's, one of my dreams. I love American Horror Story, and Ryan Murphy is someone I'd love to work with. And so yeah, horror is number one. Horror and comedy. So they're my two genres, yeah, that I love.
And Christine, before we came on air, you mentioned there you obviously can't disclose at the moment in terms of projects, but in terms of, you seem to be busy at the moment. It's a busy time for you.
Yes, I'm currently learning lines. I have a movie coming up. It starts filming July 1st. And I cannot disclose the name of the production or my role, but I can tell you that I play the role of an influencer, and she's quite hilarious. So the script is very funny. So that's as much as I can divulge for now. Yeah.
And
so
yeah, and Christine, in terms of being involved in the LA sort of scene, coming from Ireland, is this quite, I know you're there quite a while now, but at first, is it daunting? Is it sort of, dare I say, going to the big bad world of Hollywood? We see it's one in a needle in a haystack, one in every 100,000 sort of get those sort of breaks. Is it really, do you have to claw and nail in terms of fight for every sort of audition, and are there an awful lot of ups and downs and bumps in the road?
Yeah, I would say there is a lot of competition, definitely, without question, and you have to accept there's going to be rejection. But I always say there's a role for everyone, all ages, there's just something out there for everyone. So I just say, don't give up. You're gonna, book something at some stage. If you don't book this edition, you'll book the next. So you just have to be really determined. And, between filming, I go to acting classes. So that sort of keeps me motivated. And, you know, you have to perfect your craft. So that's important too. But yeah, you just have to, just don't give up and yeah, stay focused.
And Christine, you mentioned there in terms of movies and in terms of being involved in that, are you also open to TV series if a role came about? Is it all forms of actings that appeal you, or is it just standalone movies that are interest you?
No, I'd absolutely love to be in a TV series. I actually love The Golden Girls and Murder, She Wrote. You know, I'm very old Hollywood. I love the oldies, so I'd love a TV show. I don't mind the, you know, the dumb blonde role or the ditzy role, but as long as it's quirky and, you know, something like that, I've always loved to do TV. So I'm open to, yeah, any kind of television or movie making, as long as it's not reality TV. So that's the one thing I'm not interested in. So
And Christine Mulhern, for the final 30 seconds, you might enlighten all our audience, all our listeners, why they should go out en masse to the cinemas on June the 27th, watch The Gates, and what's in store for them?
I'm sorry, what was the last thing?
What's in store for them when they go to the cinemas and watch The Gates?
Yes, prepared for a few scares. It's a very fun, exciting movie set in the 1800s, amazing cast, very quirky and weird. If you like paranormal, it's especially for you. It's a paranormal movie and possession. So if you like ghosts and anything paranormal and spooky, this is the movie to go to, The Gates.
Okay. On that note, Christine Mulhern, from me, Jim Conlan, and an absolute pleasure speaking to you on the airways this evening. We wish you all the best in The Gates, and hopefully many more projects to come. We wish you all the best with that influencer role in your upcoming movie. But for the moment, from me, Jim Conlan, to you, Christine Mulhern, stay safe, take care, and God bless.
Thank you.